Hey guys, this is Benji Forever here, and today we're going to talk about the EA after E3 and after this. Enjoy! Sup! This is Benji Forever here, and today we are going to talk about after E3 and what's after and what's my thoughts. First up, EA Play. What do I think of it? It was a sensation. First up, EA showed off the EA is going Disneyland with this event, focusing on playable games like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, and EA and EA Sports games. But first, let's talk about EA Play. I loved it. I went there at the Novo LA, California. I loved it. Lisa, my sister, loved it too. Kudos to my sister. Thank you. First, a conference. Let's talk about conferences. First up, EA has begun the conference of it, and they announced a new Star Wars games are coming in a few years now, including a sequel to Battlefront and a VR experiences from the Battlefront 2. Anyway, the next up, Xbox. What do I think of Xbox? It was not bad. They showed a lot of games, including Gears of War 4, Recore, Cuphead. Cuphead was a good game. But why Xbox? They should have been released on the PS4. That's a bummer. Finally, after the conference before the conference ends, they're talking about Xbox Scorpio. Project Scorpio was considered as a powerful version of Xbox One. What do I think of it? It looks good. Anyway, and next up is Ubisoft. You know what? Look, if Ubisoft is not going to show any new Rabbids game, and they just only show AAA games, they're done. I mean, it's a bummer. I mean, EA never got a chance to talk about the Rabbids stuff. Never. On the flip side, this is that Just Dance 2 is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Wii, and Wii U, and in the twist, Nintendo NX is coming too. Looks like this is the first newly announced game. No, actually, it wasn't the only game that the NX announced. Dragon Quest is under consideration for Square Enix. Dragon Quest is under consideration for Square Enix. Good. Nicely done. Also, after the conference and after the E3, during E3, Ubisoft told Alan, what's her name? Told MCV that they're going to support the NX. It also has a potential to recapture what was lost with the audience with the Wii. Because the Wii U had a drought-full year for us. Lots of suffering and lots of burns. Lots of burns. So does this mean that the Ubisoft has planning on begun development on the NX? I don't know. But it also does mean that we could still see a new Rabbids game with the new platform. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Is it? We'll see. Next up, Sony. Sony is a bomb. They first started with the announcement of God of War 3. God, it was awesome. Next up, Last Guardian. Man, The Last Guardian was a hit. It finally gave gamers, after years and years of development, heck. Next up, Crash Bandicoot is back! Remastered, but not the reboot they were hoping. First up, we're gonna return Crash by remastering 3 games in one package. First up, Xbox One. First up, Crash Bandicoot, the first one, the second one, and finally the third one, which is Warped, which we used to play when we were kids. It's going to be remastered on the PS4. So kudos to Activision for making a great game. Next up, after this, Nintendo. Nintendo took a risk to not make a conference. They instead made a treehouse, and they just show a minute-long demo of The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild, and it was phenomenal. The art, magical. The gameplay is different, but it's the same thing. And for the first time in Zelda history, it's going to be open world. It also announced the amiibo too. Also, and it's also coming to Wii U, and it's also coming to NX2. So they're gonna have a launch title in the NX next year, or maybe in a long time. So anyway, return to the NX. I like it. Okay, next up, PSVR. Horror games like Here They Lie and Resident Evil 3 proves that horror could freak you out and pee your pants and cry like babies with the VR, and that's no exception. Also, and finally, let's just talk about NX stuff that happened during and after E3. During E3, Nintendo of Canada said that they're going to expect some NX news in the fall of this year, which is 3 months from now. A little bit disappointed though, but the 3 months, wait, fine, I can survive, I don't care. But instead they said that it's going to come out in year's end. They made it up, they just screwed it up this time. Wow, 6 months from now, that's going to be like the suffer for me. Can't believe it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe in the next briefing, which is until before the end of June, we'll explain the reveal. Anyway, that wraps up to this week's E3 video. Before we go, want you to know, I want to say thank you for your support. Thanks for watching the E3 video. Hope you like it. Sound off in the comments below, and I'll see you on the other side. And E3 is great. Next year is the another E3. Also, not to mention, Shigeru Miyamoto is making a new Mario game. It's coming out on X. It's going to be announced next E3. So yeah. So have a great time. Have a great night. Goodbye E3, and hope you enjoy. Peace. Thanks for watching.